Are continuing with the Bhagavad Gita for women. This is chapter 3, and we had completed till verse 5 of chapter 3. So today we are going to do chapter 3, verse 6 onwards. In the first 5 verses, Sri Krishna is talking about that everybody is driven towards work. That means they are supposed to keep on working. You can't say that I am not going to work, which means very simply this, that when human beings say that no, I am very tamasic in nature, I don't want to go to work, I am not interested in doing anything with my life, that is wrong. Because think like this, karma is a very dangerous thing. You may think that you will not want to do something today, because people like to live in their own cocooned world. They want to get cushioned. They don't want to go out and do anything with their life. And many a times you will find that people are there who depend on others. See, when you depend on others, you are not even interested in doing anything. Even lifting your finger is very tough. So, such kind of people, in this life, they may get that temporary relief. But the relief doesn't stay for long. Because very soon they will have to start doing what they are saying, I don't want to do. And by the time we finish the 18th chapter, you will understand that here is a person called Arjuna who refuses to do work. I will not want to lift my bow and arrow. I don't want to kill anybody. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do that. And giving 1001 reasons why he should not do anything. See, please understand, there is nobody in this world who can go free like this. So we will understand this in the future verses also. But this is what we had covered so far. So we will now start today's satsang from verse 6 onwards. So we are doing Srimad Bhagavad Gita chapter 3 verse 6 onwards. He who outwardly restraining the organs of senses and action sits mentally dwelling on the object of senses, that man of deluded intellect is called a hypocrite. Here Sri Krishna is defining who a hypocrite is. You see, we have this habit of saying that I want to stay out of this. Now, if there is in the family, there are lots of times when things are happening, within certain family members. And the habit of a human being is, I don't want to interfere in all these things, They want to fight with each other. It is their problem, not mine. So, we will do something which is called restraining our senses. Don't want to talk. Don't want to interfere. I don't like to interfere in all these things. This is how people talk. Well, the problem in life is this, that you may say you don't want to talk. And there are two parties there fighting with each other. You are actually involved in that fight, whether you like it or not, because your mind is overworking now. Your mind wants to give them back something. You see somebody who says, I don't like to eat anything for this because I am doing dieting. And you are the one who is listening into all these things. Oh, what does she think of herself? Oh, she's saying that she is not doing dieting. I know her very well. She will sneak and she will eat like this. Isn't the mind talking? And you may think you are not involved in the action. Actually, you are the one who is involved more in the action, because karma happens in 3 ways. 3 ways. Karmas happen in 3 ways. One is the action which you have heard of. Action means physically or mentally you are doing some action. So that action is performed by deeds. You know what deeds are, no? Actions. Words. The moment you utter some words, how stupid is that person? And the third one is called thoughts. You may think thoughts are not productive, but you will be amazed to know that thoughts are the most dangerous of all. Karma happens just by thinking also. That is why the yogis do not have this thinking process going on in their world. They are sitting in what is called as a samadhi. No thought process, nothing happening. When thinking happens, a big karmas happen, no doubt about it. I will give you one example. Let us say, today you are going in for your annual health checkup, or tomorrow. Okay, tomorrow you are going in for an annual health checkup. And the person has already told you that you are supposed to do fasting blood sugar, correct? You know, there is fasting and then there is postprandial, as they call it. Now what do? You say, oh, I will not eat anything in the evening, no sugars, nothing. And tomorrow morning, after the tests are over, then I will eat whatever I feel like. This is hypocrisy. Do you understand what hypocrisy means? That person is a hypocrite. If somebody is doing like this so that the reports can be less, the sugar level can be less, you are actually faking it. See, many a times you see lot of people faking it in this world. Women who have big stomach, do you know they use a very important garment which is available in the marketplace? It is called Spanx. And if you don't know, go buy it. Spanx hides the fat inside so that you look very nice. It is called hypocrisy. Now the thinking process is, I will look nice. There was recently a video on TikTok where there were 4 Chinese ladies in different sizes wearing this kind of garments. And then they removed that garments to show how big a fat they were. Their entire stomach was spilling outside. Now that is not a good thing. In life also, we should never be hypocritical, all right? I give you one example how people behave like this. Let me try to make you understand why we are not supposed to get into this kind of a nonsense. The thought creates karma. It's a very dangerous thing. I will not do this just now. I will tell that other person to do it. And maybe you feign, oh, I am sick, I can't do this, I can't lift my finger, I've got headache, I got this, Don't worry. It is called karma. Karma comes to bite you back. And it doesn't come back to bite you 1x. It comes to bite you 10x. That 10x is a very dangerous thing. Because tomorrow you are going to be at the receiving end. The person to whom you are saying these words, I can't do this because of this reason, I can't do that because of this reason, that person is going to be in your shoes and you are going to be in that person's shoes. And the whammy is going to be big, not small. This is not understood by human beings. So in the next life, if you were to get into that kind of a state, you will blame God for it, isn't it? God, why did you put me in this condition? That is why karma is not to be played around with. The thought itself is dangerous. So do not be a hypocrite. We try to restrain our senses. Today morning there was a very interesting phenomena. I don't want to eat sweet. I will eat it later. You see, if I have my breakfast now and if I have after 2 hours, 3 hours, I will be hungry once again. Okay, this was told to me. All right. Why will you be hungry 2 hours, 3 hours later? Oh, that is how it is, isn't it? The food gets digested and then my stomach becomes empty. So it is written somewhere, and science also tells us that you have to have small meals in a day. This is what science has taught me. Okay, science has taught you, but does science know your brains or your mind? Science doesn't know your brain or your mind, what is happening in you. It's a general statement. You see, the reason why you feel hungry is because you can't control your mind. It has nothing to do with hunger. I can guarantee you one thing. It is not that the eating of fat makes you fat. It is your mind which makes you fat. I hope you get this point. You see, you may say, I will not eat butter, this is ghee, this is oil, I will not fry it in oil. So I use less oil, I use this non-stick cookware, I don't put fat in it, I want to reduce the fat. Your mind is already overworking. You see, you may think the outside world is actually doing something to you. No way. It is the inside world which is doing that thing to you. I don't know how much you know about this. Let me give you a very practical example. Practical. Understand one thing. When you eat food, you say that it gets digested in 3 hours, 4 hours, 5 hours. No. The minimum time that the food is inside your body is 9 hours. How much? 9 hours. That is the reason why what you eat the previous day, you have to go to the loo in the morning. I hope you get the point. How many hours you are sleeping? 8, 9 hours, I think. And what food has come out? Now psychology, mind working. I will explain this mind working to you very funnily. Now let us say you are having breakfast in the morning. You are having breakfast at 7 a.m. Okay? And you have eaten tomato sandwich. Tomato, whatever you call it. You have eaten tomato sandwich. And you hate tomatoes. I don't like tomatoes. I would rather have eaten something different. Now, remember what I told you, it takes 9 hours minimum for digestion, correct? This is what science tells you. What psychology tells you or what your mind does is this. Oh, you hate tomatoes, is it? In 3 hours time, you are going to the toilet by 10 o'clock in the morning. By the way, all the tomato is out. Have you ever noticed it? Please notice it. The reason why I said tomato is because it is red in color. You understand tomatoes very well. The color can be visible. So it has nothing to do with the food. It is 90% psychology. 90% mind, 10% food. There is a very beautiful book where there is a mention of how people live in this world, yogis. They don't eat anything. They don't drink also anything. They can stay like that for years. They can stay for 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years also. And you will say, that is not possible. Of course it is possible. The body has the capability of pulling out food from the atmosphere. It converts sun. Okay? Have you seen there are other things in this world which you don't give food and water are still alive? Plants, they are alive. You may not even water them for 1 whole year. Where do they get the water from? Water vapor. Where do they get the sun from? Sun out there. Carbon dioxide, carbon monoxide, hydrogen, oxygen, everything is available. So the plants can be alive. You think human beings can't live like that? So now think about it. If plants can live like this for years and years and years, without actually somebody watering them or giving them food to eat, they say you have to give potassium, you have to give these things. Nothing. They can develop it from the sun only. They can develop it in the atmosphere. So these yogis can live like this, just on sun. So please don't be under this impression that what I eat is going to get converted. It is mind talk. I will teach you how to become slim if you want to. The simplest thing to do is overcome your mind. And don't be a hypocrite. Oh, I don't have to eat this, burger. I can't eat so much of butter, so much of, cheese in it. I can digest that cheese just like that also. And if you don't give me cheese also, I can digest even water. Why you can't do it? You are joining Bhagavad Gita class. By now you are getting trained in all these things. So don't bother yourself about it. I put a little extra sugar, or little less sugar, little this. Don't bother. Control your mind. If you can't, and if you keep on giving these bullshit reasons, then you are a hypocrite par excellence. He who outwardly restrains, oh no, I'm not going to eat. That is the person we are talking about, who restrains the organs or senses and action. Sits mentally dwelling on the objects. No, that is 150 calories. I should not be eating that. Oh, 200 milliliters of orange juice contains 96 kilocalories. Oh, that is going to add to my weight. Calories don't add to your weight. Sugar doesn't add to your weight. Sugar can be destroyed immediately if you want. More you think, the more sugar is there. Yeah, have you ever noticed why people are thin? Have you seen they eat too much but they are still thin? You know the reason why they are so thin? They overthink. Overthinking. See, it's written over here. Restraining his organs of senses and action. Sits mentally dwelling on the object of senses. I have not eaten mango for the last 2 years. Anybody stopped you or what? Go eat mangoes. Go stand under the mango tree and keep on eating. Nothing is going to happen. If you are having control over your mind, nothing is going to happen to you. You can even program your death if you want to. You see, I had to do a Sholay scene. Where, you remember that Dharmendra goes on top of that water tank and says, Mosiji, marna cancel. So I also had to do this, Marna cancel. So it is like that. Marna cancel. You can program everything. Control your mind. So don't dwell on these objects and then keep on thinking, oh, I should not have done this, I should not have done that. Why are you thinking? Okay. We do the next verse 7. On the other hand, he who is controlling the organs of senses and action by the power of his will and remaining unattached undertakes the yoga of selfless action through these organs. Arjuna, he excels. You don't have to bother so much. The power of the will. You see, the power of the will is such, I don't have to think on that. Why do I have to think every time I eat? Why do I have to think when every time my sister-in-law and my mother-in-law comes home? They will come, they will go. Hut. Why do I have to get afraid when the principal of the school calls me? You know how dreadful it is when the principal sends a note, your school teacher. I don't know if you have elder children at home, One day the child will come. A teacher has sent this note, principal has called you. Finished. You already start, oh my God, what's going to happen? What's going to happen? What's going to happen? So that happening thing is going to make you more nervous. Understand this. What is there to be nervous about? In exam, you have already done this hundreds of times. You have faked it, Have you got first class in your SSC or graduation and all that? I think most of Indians, they love getting this first class, white color degree or that golden color degree and all that. Beautiful. And lot of 100 on 100 marks and 90 on 100 or something like that. They love getting it. 1 year later, you ask them the question from that examination, they will not have any answer. I've forgotten. Simply because I just wrote the examination so that I can pass it and come in first class. Are you not the hypocrite of your life? Think like this. You are a mother today, let us say. You are not learning for yourself. You are not learning because you have to get your degree. You are going to learn it for not only your child, your future, but the world's future as well. When are you going to understand this? As a woman, you will one day. As a young girl, you are a young girl. But tomorrow you are going to become a mother. The word mother itself carries a lot of weight, Why do you want to be a mother of only your children? The whole world is your child. You see, Mother Mary, as we call her, she's a mother of the whole world. Have you seen the lady in Lourdes? People go there. The water from that, from that stream is collected by people. Why? She's the mother of the world, not just mother of Jesus Christ, okay? Likewise, if you are that Devi yourself, if you are that Lakshmi, if you are that Saraswati, you are not going to say, oh, this knowledge is only for me and my child only. No, your knowledge is for the world. Please remember this. The petty you are, I only want to get examination results because I want to get a job, I want a good certificate. I don't care about the rest of my life. By the age of 20 and 21, you have got one degree. Okay? And that degree is worthless because its degree is of no use in the world. Today, one of my disciples, she is creating beautiful, children's programs. It talks about motherhood. It talks about how big her heart could be. Because you have to think of the world, not just yourself. So he says, Sri Krishna says, if you can control your actions by the power of your will, just control it. You don't have to keep on thinking, oh, what's going to happen, what's going to happen. What is going to happen? Nothing is going to happen. The willpower has to be there. No, I don't even have to think about it. You know, there are teetotalers. Have you heard of teetotalers? Those who don't drink. And then there are those people who drink. How difficult it is for a person who drinks not to drink. Very difficult, isn't it? But sometimes they take a vow saying that, oh, I am not going to drink. Sometimes they take a vow, isn't it? I am not going to drink. And they may not drink. But many a times there is that small thought going on, I should little only. Their thought process goes in that. It is like a person who smokes, no, their fingers will always be thinking like this. It always is like that. You don't have to. A teetotaler won't even look at that object. Correct or wrong? So you have to become like that. That object itself should not create desires in you. You know how desires are? Suppose you read in the paper, oh, the gold rate has gone to 80,000 rupees. Oh my God, I should have brought it last time. Last year I was thinking of buying gold. What? See, today you think that gold has value. Tomorrow maybe tin is going to have value. You will wear tin some items. Then what happens? Start collecting tin just now? No. So don't bother. What has to be will be. Like that. So you have to control it by willpower. You can perform selfless action. See, I told you this just now only. What is selfless action? Selfless action is, why are you thinking about yourself only? The whole world is an oyster. You think of other people. You become so big-hearted that the whole world can be within you. And when you become like that, then nothing in this world matters to you. You are just there for the purpose of being there. That is it, period. Got it? So you perform what is called as a selfless action. We are going to learn about selfless action in the future also. I will teach you all what is selfless action. Where your mind doesn't get involved in any action. Please remember this. Mind doesn't come. When you perform an action, there is no thinking process happening. You are doing it because it has to be done. That is called a selfless action. I hope you get that. This is a simple line which will define it. So he says, verse 8, therefore, do you perform your allotted duty? For action is superior to inaction. Desisting from action, you cannot even maintain your body. See, those who refuse to do work, those who refuse to do action, they give different reasoning. The reasonings can be any. Let us say you are working as a nurse in a hospital. You are there to serve the people there, isn't it? Is it right or wrong? You are there so that you can serve the patients. Or you may be in a hospice where the dying people are there. You have heard of this, isn't it? There are lots of places. It's called palliative care. Have you heard of palliative care? Those people are dying. They are in their final lap of life. Can you say today, oh, my head is paining, my this is there, my that is there. Can you say all those words and not go to work? That old man who is about to die, maybe 5 days from now he will be dead. Will he wait for you so that you resume your work? Does death wait for anybody? No. Recently I met one lady. She said these words. 15 days I am very fine and working, and 15 days I am out of action. If for 15 days you are out of action, and if you are doing the beautiful service like this palliative care, do you think that will work? No. Even in your worst circumstances, you will still have to go and perform your duties. You can't hide behind that. I cannot function in 15 days. You can't say those words. When you are the only single mother, or maybe you have a child, can you take an off even for a day? You are doing injustice to not only yourself, but to the whole world. So Sri Krishna says, there is nothing like, inaction. You have to do action. Even in the worst case scenario, you can't hide behind some BS reason. I cannot do this because of this reason. Please remember this. You see, we have Ma's, all the great Devi Ma's are there. Whatever as a woman you are going through, you think those Devi Ma's are not having, or what? Tomorrow, if for a day, just imagine Lakshmi Mata says, tomorrow I am going to take off, I can't work. The whole world will come to an end. How will the transactions happen? You were supposed to give money for something. That money is not coming because, the Devi Ma is taking an off today. Can't happen like that. The greater you are, even in the worst case scenario, you still have to perform your duty. Don't hide behind this, I can't do this is not possible, that is not possible. Because, so far we have not come to a point where Sri Krishna is going to say otherwise. The word otherwise has still not come. The word otherwise is there in this scripture, okay? If you deny doing the duty, then what happens? We have still not come to that point. That point is there in this. Remember this. So what we have to do is simply perform our duty to the best of our ability. If I can perform 100%, perform 100%. If I have to perform 120%, I have to perform 120%. I can't say I'm not going to do it. So, you have to do your allotted duty. Whatever is the duty that is allotted to you, any duty. That duty is very simply what we say as the Swadharma and the Dharma. You have a Dharma. You are women, you have a Dharma as a woman, as a mother, as a daughter. There are dharmic actions that we are supposed to do. And Swadharma means the Dharma which you are supposed to perform for yourself and for the world. Okay? That we will have to continue to do. Got it? So, if you desist from action, you will not be able to maintain your body. Today, if you keep on saying, I won't do this, I won't do this, I won't do this, I won't do this, well, there are two Devis, two great goddesses. One is Prakriti, and the other one is Maya. These two Devis are there. Prakriti is called Mother Nature. Maya is the illusory powers of the God. Okay? Prakriti is going to tolerate you for a few days, few months. She will only tolerate for some time. Later on, she is not going to tolerate it. Because she will say, I have kept you in that job for certain purpose. You are not performing and doing your duty. Why are you not doing your duty? Because I want this work to be done. See, when you call a plumber and you say to the plumber, connect this tap and this tap is leaking or something like that. Suppose he doesn't do that work and go. Half work only he does. It's going to cause you misery or no? Just imagine while performing a surgery, many a times these doctors, they forget that, while they are stitching up, they forget their glove or something inside the body only. You know this or you don't know this? I have seen this with my own eyes, okay? Because I used to be in the surgery. So, they are talking and they are doing something and they forget and they are stitching up that person, and that thing is going to lie inside. It is not a done thing. You have to do your job diligently, perfectly. Please understand this, it is very important. Now, Rajma went to a dentist. That dentist did a patch-up work for just a few hours. This is okay, go. 2 days later, the problem is still there. And now it is becoming more. This kind of work is not accepted. It can cause misery. So that is the reason why we should not say, I can't do this, I will do it tomorrow, I will do it day after tomorrow. Why do you want that double whammy on you, please? I hope you understand this. You should not expect, Mother Nature to give you a double whammy on this, correct? So please don't do that. You have to do your job. There is no other person who is going to do it for you. Your job is your job. You can't have servants all the time. So, we'll do one more verse and then we'll stop. So verse 9 says, man is bound by his own actions except when it is performed for the sake of sacrifice. Therefore, Arjuna, do you efficiently perform your duty free from attachment for the sake of sacrifice alone? The word sacrifice means very simply, you put oblations in the fire, that's called a sacrifice. Okay? Sacrifice means something that you do for getting some result, something that you do. So if you are putting food in your mouth, that is called the mouth sacrifice of food in your stomach. Got it? If you are putting good thoughts in your mind, that is called thinking process. It is sacrifice. So everything that you do for the sake of Krishna, it's called a sacrifice. Please remember this. So he says, all actions have to be performed, Arjuna. You can't deny any action. You can't say tomorrow, day after tomorrow, after that and after that. No. The child's future is there. Your own future is there. The world's future is existing on that one object only. By you performing the duty, that duty is finished. You can go to the next one, right? So just keep on doing it. Don't procrastinate. Don't do anything like that. She says, you are bound by your own actions. Bound means what? It is you who has to do the actions. If the action is written in your name, you can't keep on, pushing it on to somebody else. Oh, you do this, Please remember this. It comes back as a double whammy. Don't do this anytime. What is your job is your job. Please perform this action because the results are for you only. That person is not connected to you. See, it's written over here. So, free from attachments. If you have the book, you can see the line says, free from attachments. Don't be attached to that action. I am doing it for my son and daughter. I am doing it for my mother and father. Don't say those words. You are doing it for Krishna. Not for your mother, father, brother, sister, husband, wife, nothing. Don't. This kind of words are wrong because they are just souls. They are nothing. They are not even related to you. You are only there because you have to be there. In next life, you will be somebody else. They will be somebody else. You people are not going to meet. Unless and until you do that Karwa Chauth and all those nonsensical things, the 7 lives I want to live with the same person, then I am not responsible, okay? Then you and your funeral, not mine. I have nothing to do with it. That's a joke. So it is something that you have to think of. It is not the same person that you get. It is nothing like that. Just a thought can create a problem. I don't know how many of you know this. A thought can create a problem. There is a story in the Shiv Puran. Now, it so happens that Shivji and Parvati, okay, they are staying in Kailasha, all right? And she calls Vishnu as her brother, okay? So one day Shivji is busy meditating somewhere, God knows. Kailasha maybe, sitting on top of the mountain and meditating. So Parvati Amma is alone at home. And at that time, her brother comes. Brother means Vishnu. So he comes to visit her, Mahavishnu kind of, okay. I just want to call him Vishnu, okay. So he comes. Now, he's like Nitish Bharadwaj. He looks very handsome, okay, kind of. Or maybe some cool dude. So he comes and he says, I have come to visit you and I want to meet my nephews. Ganesha is a very naughty fellow. He's roaming around. Children, have you seen children? They have their baby elephants. They'll go on top of it and they will have this cars and stuff like that. So he is busy with Nandi and all his toys and playing around. And when Vishnu comes over there, the moment uncle comes, they want chocolate and this and that. All uncles, when they come, the children are waiting for something to get. So, and he is very, very nice, he likes to give things and all that. So he is giving. And Parvati is looking from inside like this. She says, oh my God, he will make such a great husband. I wish I had a husband like that. That thought itself destroys the whole thing. And Mahavishnu outside is thinking, what the hell? What is she thinking of? I am her brother. She should not be thinking of this. Okay? And because of that one thought, Parvati in one life of hers has to marry Vishnu. Just the thought itself can create karmic action. For the gods also it creates. It is there in the Shiv Puran. Please go and read it if you want. Just the thought. So be very careful how you think also. Control it with the power of your will. So, all actions have to be done for the sake of sacrifice. Don't say I am eating so that I can reduce weight. Don't say these words, okay? I am not eating because I have to... Don't even think like that. Say, Krishna Arpanam. I am eating. Krishna, you want to eat, you eat. You want to not eat, don't eat. I am going to eat it because I want to feed you. You are inside me, no? Afterwards, now you eat whatever you want, okay? And whatever you don't want, you please throw it out. It is called Arpan. Arpan means offering. So when you offer the food to Krishna, it is called sacrifice. When you do any action for him, it is called sacrifice. I hope you are getting it. Sometimes we have to do actions which we don't like also. We have to go to some person's house which we don't even want to go. You know that, no? Many a times you have to, Oh, why I have to go to this person's house? You will say like this, but you have to go because this is duties. You are performing a duty. Don't think you are going. Say, Krishna, you go on my behalf. I will go in this body, but you go on my behalf. Do what you think is right. So that action gets performed by Krishna himself through you. So it is an action which is free from attachment. It is so beautiful. There is no attachment in that action then. Because it is not your action, no. Krishna is performing that action through you. He is using your body for doing that. You are that robot who is only doing hand movement or leg movement. Got the point or no? Your job is to be his representative. Final, he only is responsible. So if I perform any action, I have to do that. You know the reason why we do this action before meals. You know, at least in Christians, they have this grace before meals, bless us, O Lord. They say these words. But in Hindu, what we do is we put some water around the plate and all that. You know that, no? And then we will do something. And people will be saying, yaar, chicken nahi hai, mutton nahi hai, aaj kya hai, sirf bhaji khana padta hai, are kere, sire kere, and palak and all. I hate these things. You may be thinking like this. Don't think like that. Do one prayer for Krishna. Okay? So when you do this Krishna prayer, what happens? You are offering the meal to Krishna. What are you doing? You are doing a sacrifice. First you are offering the meal to Krishna. The Christians, they offer the meal to Jesus Christ and God in heaven or whatever. You also offer it to Krishna and say, hey Krishna, if this meal is for you, okay? Here, thank you very much. This meal is for you. And when you do that, and afterwards you eat your meal, do you know what has happened? Simple thing has happened. When you go to the temple, what do? You take a prasad and you give it to the priest, correct? The priest will do like that and he'll give it back to you, correct or wrong? So when it comes to you, first was an offering and second is a prasad. So what you are eating is called the prasad. I hope you get that. So when you offer your meal to Krishna, it becomes a sacrifice to Krishna. And when you eat that meal after that saying those words, it is like you have offered him, mentally offered him. And now when you are eating it, it becomes a prasada. It is no longer an ordinary meal. So don't worry, nothing is going to touch your body. Oh, so much of sweet, Oh, I can't eat so much. I have to remove it out. Don't need it. Yeah. Eat it. Prasad it is. You are not supposed to throw prasad, no? See? That is why. So yeah, it's okay. Krishna prasad is offered. All right. No problem. That is how he says. Efficiently perform the duties free from attachment. Now there is no attachment. You are not eating for yourself. You are eating for God. His prasad. Whatever action you are doing in this world, like even taking care of your children, going out and teaching, or maybe performing some action for somebody else, it's an offering to Krishna. And when you do this offering to Krishna, it is going to be free from attachment. And that is called a sacrifice. And there will be no karma attached to it. Got it? And we have come to the end of verse 9. So we will stop over here.